Hey everyone, welcome to day number 3. And yes, today is going to be the most impactful because we are building off of day 1, day 2. But even if you haven't been around, we are going to build again today. So you don't want to miss this. We're going to be starting in just a few minutes.
Recording in progress.
Hey everyone, happy Saturday to each and every one of you. So glad to be here today. Wow. And the room just keeps growing with more VIPers. I am beyond.
You're muted, Hillary.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know who just said that, but hey, join the team. I love this. And again, what I was saying is happy Saturday to one and all. And the room just keeps growing with more and more VIPers coming in. And remember, we are kicking off another amazing hot seat with Hillary. Let's get into the VIP room. You can still join that right after this session by putting VIP in the chat, and we will get you into the room, okay? You guys, this is so fun. Again, I'm in Sedona. Again, living the lifestyle of the financial freedom CEO. And I mean, get ready, because I know you all are 100% committed right now to your sales, to scaling it, and to this Sales Live Mastery Series. Today's a big one because I'm going to be sharing with you an expert secret to actually being able to be trusted in the market. I'm going to give you 3 strategies to break down these prospect barriers to your actual offer, which will accelerate the close, which is ultimately what we're trying to do. And the secret, this one alone has created millions of dollars in sales. But before we dive in, let's hear from some of the incredible FFCs that are right here, right now, you financial freedom CEOs. Tell me in the chat, what is your biggest pearl so far? Okay? And let me I'm quickly getting over here, and I see, hi Carol, good to see you. And let me know you're here. Robin, great to see you. All right, what are some of those pearls? Hey Libby, good to see you. Bonnie, Susan, rock star. God, it's good. I'm hoping you're feeling it too, because I'm feeling it. That was, you talk about, game changer for you. Okay, yes, this is amazing. Stories. Joan, oh, my heart goes out to you, girl. Yes, 2 categories. Stories again. Oh, how much are you loving the 3HQ? When you start to embody it and work with it, it's so good. I mean, it is 2 types of people. Yes. Okay. And again, welcome everybody. What a day. What a great way to start the weekend, right? So, amazing people, amazing pearls. Okay, but everyone, you're here for a reason, right? As much as we love, our tea on a Saturday and working together, I have a goal, I have an intention, and I hope you all do too. In this master series, I want to just say so far, I was so blown away with the vulnerability of the stories I heard yesterday in the VIP. So thank you for opening up, for being there, for letting not only me in, but everybody, letting the universe know that it's your time. It's time. It's time to make an impact, all right? So what we're gonna do is jump in, because so far we've covered quite a bit. And on day 1, you uncovered 4 types of people in the market. Tell me in the chat, if you want to make 7 figures in sales, how many of those categories of people are you going to sell to? How many? I told you about 4 categories. How many are you focused on? Yes. You're focused on 2, the expense people and the investment people. And you're only going to sell to those 2. On day 2, yesterday's session, you discovered the 3 essential elements to winning influence through your messaging. I saw so many that have been tagged. This is so good in the Facebook group. In DMs, yes. Tag my team. Let us see. What are you doing? You're using them in social media. Put them in emails. All right, so what were those 3 essential elements? I'm going to give you a hint. They start with E, P, and L. EPL. Sounds like some type of medical device. Yes, Robin. Ethos, pathos, logos. Yes. Ethos is higher self. Pathos, your heart. Logos, your head. And you saw and heard some incredible examples of those. Procter & Gamble, Charity Water, for all my VIPs. My team of sales and marketing experts, my team has some of the greatest people who do this all the time. I want you to utilize them as your coach, okay? They are willing to give you specific feedback. So if you want your influential story that you're crafting right now, that you're about to post, that you're going to be putting in emails or a video, let my team, let them review it, okay? So make sure to reach out. Say, hey, give me some feedback, all right? Amber, could you drop that link in for the people that are signed up? Again, another reason, spend the $47, get in there, let them review it, let them craft it with you. Okay, so I got my Reiki hands going right now. Who is ready for today's session? Today you're gonna walk away with 3 clear, specific expert strategies. These are expert strategies to break down barriers and overcome any prospect objection in a way that is so easy. And the millionaire's secret to what the 1% do differently, they're doing it. The other online entrepreneurs, they're not doing it. And so what is happening? What's happening is they're not at that same level. So are you ready to start to get into this? Transform the way you handle objections. And again, let's just put it in there. We're going to supercharge you, all right? Supercharge you so that then it will impact your sales. All right. Today is about me introducing you to a formula that I have been using for a gazillion years, all right? It will inspire anyone and everyone to make a change. And again, you know what I do. I always have you do it on yourself. Think about you so you can do it on others, all right? So how many of you would agree that in order for people to raise their hand and actually work with you, you need to do some things differently? And they need to change some things, right? Some of these people you're trying to get in, it's like, if they don't change, So I'm going to show you, again, the relaunch formula for change, and I'm going to walk you through how to actually leverage it. How to leverage it so that you talk about like the dam and the gates, the floodgates, right? It will open up everything. It will open up everything. So again, it's called the relaunch formula for change. The relaunch formula for change is dissatisfaction times vision, and pull out your workbook, action book, times vision plus a micro step has to be greater than your prospect's resistance. So the relaunch formula, put it into your workbook, the action book. The relaunch formula for change is dissatisfaction times the vision plus, these are words you're putting in there, plus micro step has to be greater than resistance. Again, dissatisfaction, the head, times the vision, the heart, and higher self, best version of you, plus micro step, back to the head, resistance, the objections, head, limiting beliefs, heart, emotional blocks. And it's important to think about this formula using the 3HQ framework because people make buying decisions emotionally, heart-based. It's always first. And then they justify purchasing decisions with their head. So when you can uncover the individual elements of this formula from your prospects and then put them together, I can guarantee, and I know everyone's like, oh, don't use that word, but it is, this process works. If a formula works, why not use it? All right? And I can almost guarantee that you can encourage your prospects to move forward using it, but you gotta get comfortable with it. So, dissatisfaction, the things your prospect is currently unhappy with, the challenges they have, right? They all have them. It could be unpredictable sales coming in. It could be poor lead quality. It might be spending a lot of extra time talking to people who aren't coachable. It might be feeling like you can't even take one day off. What about identity? What these things are. Really, really get clear on things in their life that they are feeling dissatisfied with. I want you to identify what those things are. What are they really? Not what's going on with you, but what are they dissatisfied with? You'll soon find out that very similar to what you're dissatisfied with. But share in the chat right now, what are some of your actual prospects' dissatisfactions? What would they be? Really think about this. Spend a second going over this, okay? What are they? I want to see these. What are they? What are your clients' dissatisfactions? Spending too much time dealing with staff issues, not working, stuck in a rut, knowledge of the product. Yeah, Libby. So good. You guys, you have to be able, and this is something that we work on, right? I've told you about the Fired Up Entrepreneur. We work on this. We create this. It becomes like this living blueprint for you, okay? All right, so now let's move on to the V, the vision. Where do your prospects want to go? What do they want to bring more of into their life? What are they working to create? I want you to think about the vision now. Take a minute. Tell me in the chat, what is the vision do you think right now? It's okay if you're like, what would their vision be? But I need you to be thinking about this. This is one of those that like maybe you haven't thought of, like, what are they really, really looking for? Or have you thought of it lately? Okay, let me see here. Okay, beauty. Love that. Stefan, wait, I'm not seeing that. Okay, so their desires your prospects have, they could be growing revenue month after month, waking up to messages from high quality leads. They're actually, how about this? Asking to work with them. The ability, how about this? And you know who I'm talking to make more investments, maybe in real estate. Taking an actual vacation this summer. Again, the relaunch formula for change is dissatisfaction times vision plus a micro step has to be greater than the prospect's resistance. You need to be thinking about this, using this every time you're going to be going live, creating any content, email, social, anything, taking sales calls. All right, so now micro step. Micro step. Has anyone ever heard the quote, "A confused mind never buys"? I want to ask you, have you ever really given it much time to sink in? People will not guess what they are supposed to do next. If you've established your ethos, your credibility and your authority that we talked about yesterday, then your prospects are trusting that you know the steps they need to take to see the results they want. You're doing this all along the way. You need to clearly communicate what the appropriate, simple, immediate, first micro step is for your prospect. And this has to be creating momentum toward their vision. And when you think about someone purchasing your offer, how do they start the process? What is the first step that your ideal client needs to take to lead them down the path of purchasing your offer? What is that? Tell me in the chat. What would that first step? What is one example of it? This micro action that you can give to your prospects. It could be, hey, you might have a free lead magnet. You might say, book a call with me. You might say workshop. Robin says attend a webinar. Yes. M, visit the website. Carol, consultation. Yes, these are all things, but you have to be very clear of what consultation. What would that first consultation look like? What are you giving them? What would be that, when we're doing a 20-minute discovery call, people don't want to hear like, oh, I'm going to give you this massive blueprint. They want to know, hey, I'm going to walk away with my business being identified. Like, where am I going with 3HQ? What's my first step? That's what they want, okay? So when I look at these responses, I'm offering a dream scan call. Okay, but go deeper. Go deeper. What is the scan going to accomplish? Download this resource. What is the resource? What result will they get? Listen to this podcast episode. That's a big one because it's like, potentially 20, 30 minutes, an hour. What are they going to get from that? What is going to be the result? So good. You just have to be micro. We try to go too big with that first step of engagement. Don't go too big. Get really, really focused and really specific. And the last element of the relaunch formula for change is resistance. This is where the prospect sales objections, this is where it lies. This is the information that you're going to intentionally build your objection, obliteration statements to actually overcome any objection. So what are the objections of your prospects? What are they? What common objections do you hear? Put it in the chat. What are the common ones? Time and money. What else? Yeah. Yep. There's support. Okay, they already had support. Yes. Not sure if this will work for me. All of these. Money, time, not a good fit. Hey, I got other commitments. How about the old, I'm too busy right now? Okay, so excellent. How many of you know that when a prospect actually tells you what their objection is, you have all the information you need to begin to overcome it? How powerful is that? So big, because there is an incredible affirming universal law. It's called the law of polarity. And that law says that everything has an equal opposite. So what does that mean for business and for our prospects? That means that for every negative, there is an equal positive. You can't have scarcity without abundance. You can't have struggle without freedom. And you can't have a problem without a solution, which means that this is the great news here, that to every objection, there is an equally compelling solution. That's exactly where we're going to spend our time today. So again, grab the action workbook. And Amber, could you drop in the link just in case? I think you did earlier, but drop it in again. So now I want you to head over to day 3 and question number 5 and start listing out some of the most common roadblocks that your prospects face when considering your offer. What are the most common objections? Write them down. And while you're writing, whatever you're doing, can I tell you the number one mistake entrepreneurs make when trying to overcome objections? Most people hear what people say, and then they address those exact objections. But here's the millionaire secret. Millionaires understand what people believe, and they understand and address the underlying belief of the sales objections. So they understand what people believe, and then they address the underlying belief of the sales objection. Millionaires, people that are super successful in their business, that are scaling their business, don't try to overcome the objection. They overcome the belief system. Two of my close friends, John Assaraf, you might have heard of him from The Secret, and that's a great story in itself, how I became good friends with him, and Jim Fortin, another great story. Joan, you understand it, who came into my life because I was actually, both of them, using the 3HQ framework. And they have closed millions of dollars in sales by leveraging this specific secret. This one. This is a game-changing secret that will completely transform the way you handle objections. It will increase your sales. It will be more of a flow instead of the pushing and pushing and pushing and the sleepless nights and what's going to happen and am I doing everything right? The secret, I can't even reiterate this enough, is challenge the belief, not the objection. So in your action book, don't speak to your prospect's objections. Speak to the underlying limiting belief. All right? So I heard this actually years ago from my mentor, Jim. Think of a table, a prospect's objection statement. We've all heard this one, okay? I can't afford it. The I can't afford it is the actual objection, and that is the top of the table. It's the top of the table. But the legs of the table are actually the beliefs. So possible beliefs could be, I'm not sure that this will work for me. I'm not sure how quickly I'll make my investment back. I'm already so busy. I don't know if I can actually commit to the time it will take. 99% of entrepreneurs just address that tabletop. But the legs, the beliefs are still there. And when you have the skills to actually knock those legs out, then what would happen? If you knock the legs out, the objection, the tabletop, would fall because it no longer has the support. That's the knockout. Knock out the legs. So put in the chat, knock out. This is starting. You're gaining awareness. We're going into understanding. We will get the knowledge. Trust me, I'm going there. All right? Is this making sense? Is this making sense? How many of you would consider yourself a good leader? Tell me in the chat if you're a good leader. Trust me, it's not a trick question. Just go with me here. Okay? Yes, Shirley, yes. Robin, yes, 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 yes. Some of you are like, no, not really. Well, I got you there too. Yes, Kate. Yes, Joan. Yes, yes, yes. Great sales is great leadership. Okay. I always bring it back to it's a little coaching. Coaching time. Okay? Okay with you? All right. So as coaches or consultants, or you're providing a service, something amazing, it's our job to actually lead the prospects towards a clear pathway to make a change. We've committed to show them that the formula of change, like what the formula is possible, and that the vision that they're after is possible. Oprah says this: create the highest, grandest vision for your life because you become what you believe. Create the highest, grandest vision for your life because you become what you believe. Okay, this is hysterical. Singer, author, actress. Do we all remember Debbie Boone? You Light Up My Life. Okay, she says, nothing ever grows without a seed, and nothing ever changes without a seed. Well, I like to say, change is the exchange of limitation to elevation. Change is the exchange of limitation to elevation, that highest self. And as you grow, as you specific grow, I got to tell you, there will always be these two groups of people. There's going to be cheerleaders that believe in everything everything that you can do. And they're going to celebrate you every step of the way. Can you think of some of those? The people that make decisions like the financial freedom people. And there will be people, okay? When you're focused as a financial freedom, there's going to be the other people that are going to try to shift your focus to all the reasons why, oh, this isn't going to work. To truly succeed, you need to remain a leader, guiding your prospects towards their vision and desires. So, for those that know, T.D. Jakes, he actually speaks to this beautifully in his illustration of giraffes and turtles. Some of you might have heard this. God, I love this story. Okay, notice my image. I'm having more fun with my camera. You can't even imagine. So here's the thing. Giraffes. Nope, this way. Giraffes and turtles. They can occupy the same space, but they feed on different places. Giraffes eat amongst the treetops and the turtles move about in the grass. They live in the same space, but they are fueled by different things. This is what happens with people. We eat on the level of our identity and our vision. People operate at the height of their perspective. Giraffes, can't really see where I'm going, but you know, giraffes can see out over the horizon. It allows them to identify threats, to pace forward in confidence, feeding from treetop to treetop because they are operating from their extended gaze. Turtles can only see a short distance in front of them, moving slowly from feeding place to feeding place. But when we understand that both are actually operating from their respective levels and their perspectives, we're not going to be affected by, let's say, what the turtles are saying. The turtle is only speaking from a turtle's perspective. They might be thinking about who you were and maybe have lost sight of who you are, but their ability to see, this is so important, their ability to see who you are can actually keep you tied to the past instead of letting you evolve into this higher version of yourself. So has anyone here ever lost out on an opportunity because they listened to some things the turtle told them? Has anyone? Carol, yeah. Robin, yes. Yeah. The turtle is only giving an honest report from the position. That's their position. But giraffes, they were meant to be tall. And giraffes, I don't know if you know this, have a 25-pound heart in order to pump all the blood up that long neck. Do you know the size of a turtle's heart? Any of you? It's the size of your thumb. Size of your thumb. So you can't have a giraffe-sized vision with a turtle-sized heart. So, right now, I'm going to ask you a question. Do I have some FFCs with me today that have some giraffe-sized visions and giraffe-sized hearts? Put a G in the chat if I'm speaking to you. And you are my fellow giraffes. Yeah. Did you know that if giraffes actually lowered their neck, they would pass out? When you're meant to actually be tall, you will actively endanger your position if you lower your perspective. Stop thinking small. It's time for every one of you to start thinking tall and big. In business, you're going to hear always the murmurs of the turtles, the ones that say, wow, you're still doing that business? Wow, you've been doing that how long now? Tough times for entrepreneurs. Even, wow, you're investing in a coach? You can't allow a murmur from here, low, to impact a decision up here. You don't have to explain to a turtle a giraffe decision or their vision. So stop listening to negative voices in your life. It might be your family, other entrepreneurs, social media, to friends that don't get it. You were meant to be tall. Stay tall. Put tall in the chat because tall is playing big. Yeah. Yeah. You feeling it? You feeling this? And you're going to have prospects that are also giraffes. You're going to have to lead them through to keep them tall. That's part of what you're doing, part of the whole process here. So good. So, are you seeing what I'm doing? How I'm incorporating those 3 elements that we talked about yesterday, ethos, pathos, logos, to actually develop influential messaging. Here's where we're going to pull all of this together, okay? You've developed your influential messaging. We've talked about stories yesterday. You're putting out posts, live videos, emails, but today we're going to use those strategies to actually address the underlying limiting beliefs, the table legs of all of your prospects' objections. And this will help us earn their trust as the obvious solution to their problem, their dissatisfaction. Okay, so let's talk about 3 specific expert strategies that you can use to directly overcome objections by focusing on the underlying beliefs. And you're going to show your prospects that they're actually meant to be giraffes. They're meant to be tall too. So remember, when you can lead your prospects through their underlying limiting beliefs, all of a sudden the objections are meant to be overcome. So you have to be constantly thinking of the table. Literally, I have the image of the table in my mind. Most entrepreneurs all hear, will hear, may hear what someone says, and again, they'll go right for that. But now you know. You can't stop there. So you may be remembering a time right now that this has happened to you. You're like, oh, I think I might have done that. Here's what millionaires don't do. Here's what they don't do. If a prospect says it's too expensive, a successful business owner who makes the sale is not going to say, well, compared to other things, it's really not that expensive. Or they're not going to say, hey, let me tell you, it's going to be well worth it. They're not going to say, hey, but all of our clients find value in this, and I'm absolutely positive that you're going to find the value too. For one, they wouldn't be leveraging the secret to speaking to the underlying beliefs. They'd only be speaking to that objection. And secondly, they would strictly be focused on the head of the 3HQ. And if they don't pull in the heart and the highest self, we know what will happen. They're never going to establish trust through that emotional connection. And when they don't do that, they can't inspire their actual prospect to take action. Instead, to successfully scale your business, to think like a 7-figure business owner, you have to be going and looking and thinking about their belief system. So in the example, it's too expensive. What would be the underlying belief system? What would be potentially some? Do you know? What would be the underlying beliefs that would be represented here? What would you think? Absolutely. Not seeing ROI, Robin. Money mindset. Yes, Shirley. Absolutely. Absolutely. It could be, I don't have a lot of money right now. My cash flow is really inconsistent. Money is getting harder to make. Oh, but there's so much else I should, those darn words, should spend money on right now. So again, the time The third timeless sales secret to selling out your online offers is don't speak to the objection. Speak to the belief system. Challenge the belief, not their statement. All right? Someone say belief, because this is going to allow you to elevate your game. So let's talk about 3 specific strategies that's going to help you do this. Okay? 3 of them. Model of the world is the first strategy. Robert Dilts discusses this in his book, Sleight of Mouth. And this refers to the way that people understand the world, their experiences, their understanding of the world, and how it actually works. So again, action book, put in model of the world is the way people understand the world. So let's go back to the earlier example. It's a little expensive. If your prospect brings up a money objection, little expensive, I don't have money, this is head-based. It's a head-based statement. But we know people don't operate solely from the head. When we think about the belief our actual prospect is operating from, we are able to speak to their heart, that highest self, the entire 3HQ. So what belief is the prospect actually operating with? What do you think it would be? The belief your prospects could have, all right, belief could be the only way to make money is through hard work. Somebody said it, I'm not sure this is gonna help me, work for me. I'm going to have to work really hard to pay this off. Another one somebody said, what if I can't do it? Right? How many of you can relate to some of these? Obviously, some of you said these. It's important to relate to your prospect, to have that emotional connection. I don't deserve it. Yes, doubt, fear, all of these. To have the emotional connection, because it's important that you are not, I don't care what you do, you are not a salesperson. You're a coach, and you can lead your prospects through these limiting beliefs. When we use the model of the world, we want to reframe the way the world actually works contrary to their current belief. So if one of their beliefs is the only way to make money is through hard work, how might you reframe that belief for your prospect? I call this inside the relaunch community, the relaunch flip. And for those of you who are here with us live today, I got another bonus. I got another surprise. You can go into your resources, your bonus resources, because you're live, and my team's going to be dropping in the chat right now. So Amber, if you could do that, that'd be awesome. Okay, again, all people who show up get a little extra. All right, they may be thinking the only way to make money is through hard work. The relaunch flip using the model of the world might sound like this. Again, acting as not a salesperson, a coach. You might actually say, really successful business owners know that if they want to work smarter, not harder, they need to invest in a mentor. In order to choose any word, mentor, they need to invest in a provider, they need to invest in someone who's going to help them get it done faster. In order to compress time, identify the exact steps to take, and avoid really common pitfalls that would otherwise cost them a lot of money. A lot of money. Maybe, here's another one. Maybe it's business owners that have successfully scaled quickly while working less, recognize the importance of hiring a coach, fill in the blank, that has done exactly, I'm talking to some of you from yesterday, exactly what they've been doing now and already has a proven and developed system, right? When you can understand, when you can understand the underlying beliefs, you can then address those in the very early stages of your interactions with your client. So, Put an FFC in the chat if this is firing you up, like lighting things up in your head, thinking like, wow, formula change, how I'm using model of reality. Wow, 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 wow. I mean, this is what we're talking about. So are you seeing how incorporating heart, highest self, by addressing the belief is going to allow you to make sales easier? People buy emotionally first, and then they justify with logic. So if you are just addressing the objections using only logic, you're always going to leave money on the table. So I want you all to pause right now and realize how far we've actually come in just these 3 days of building up to this point. And some of you are probably like, oh, I want more, I want some of the actual steps. Keep me going. All right? I mean, but in 5 short days, I can't give you everything, but I want to give you this pathway. I want you to have these major secrets. Start thinking about them. Start having awareness, understanding, knowledge of them. For today, be open to realizing there is so much around entrepreneurship and creating success that scales, allowing for the recurring revenue. You are right now officially opening up your awareness of being an entrepreneur. Everything works together, everything. It's like a massive 3HQ model. So we reviewed the first strategy using model of the world, but now we're going to talk about the second strategy that you can use to counter the underlying belief of your prospect. I want you to counter it, okay? Put this definition in your action book. It's using a metaphor or analogy, and I keep talking about it because it is so important in stories and doing what we're about to do. Put this definition down. Metaphor is a word or phrase applied to an object or action, a word or phrase. Okay, so let's stick to the money objection. How many of you know that money is everywhere? Money is just energy. We talked about this on day 1. And if your prospect brings up a money objection and you want to use a metaphor or analogy in your objection, obliterating statement, it might actually sound something like this. And Simon Sinek is one of my absolute favorites. He has a great one. He says, money is like gas in the car. Your goals, your big vision, that's the destination. That's the focus. Money isn't the focus. If you shift your focus just on the gas, you're going to spend all your time at the pump and you're never going to reach your destination. You might say money is like a river, always flowing in and out. You need to keep the flow going to avoid getting stuck in one place. Or you might say money is like having a handful of seeds. You can either plant those seeds and you know without a doubt that you reap a harvest, or you can keep the handful of seeds and know that they will always be just seeds. They're always going to be seeds. So quick question. How many of you know people don't buy what they can afford? They buy what? What do they buy? They buy what they want. Yes, what they want. It's how credit card companies make billions. So the money objection, it can always be overcome. Fun fact, the story I shared earlier about giraffes and turtles, that was a demonstration of using an analogy to overcome the money objection. It spoke to the fact that not everyone will understand investment decisions, but the successful CEOs that run businesses that scale trust themselves when making decisions. There's so many strategies. And again, fired up entrepreneur, we go into all of it. We bring it all together. We tie it all up. We talk about how to actually use them, what situations, role play. But for the sake of time, I'm going to share one more, okay? And I'm going to do it at a very high level, but I've highlighted already the model of the world, the use of metaphor, and the third one that I think is so important is presenting another outcome. put this again in the workbook. Presenting another outcome is highlighting something else that could happen if they don't take action. Something else that could happen if they don't take action. I want you highlighting. This is what I would put in there. Highlighting something else if they don't take action. So, do I have any coaches or consultants in here? Put a yes in the chat. Okay, put a yes. Hey, Jennifer. Okay. To all you coaches, to all you consultants, and by the way, I've already said, you all are coaches. So you all should be putting yeses in there. Let's use an example where you're in communication with a prospect and they say to you, I don't think I need your program because I really just have trouble with sales, client acquisition, whatever they're going to fill in the blank. How could you respond to this objection by presenting another outcome? How could you do that? So I might say something like, I understand the need for support right now might look like a need for more acquisition strategy. You need more tips, but I don't have to tell you that if you don't have an appropriate offer stack, ascension model, or renewal strategy, you're only going to be bringing money in on the front end to lose it on the back end. Bam! Powerful. Another idea. I understand the need to be bringing in consistent sales. However, new client acquisition takes longer. And if you're not actually leveraging the other 3 types of sales, upsells, renewals, referrals, you're actually leaving the faster money on the table. So how about this one? Bringing in new sales is of course important, but I know I don't have to tell you that the percentage of likelihood to convert a new client is between 5 and 20%, where 80% of sales are likely with your current customer base. Successful business models only plan for 30% of their revenue base to come from new acquisition. So it's important to really look at your business through a 360-degree lens if you really want to scale your business. How good are these? Are you seeing how this is working? And people might be like, well, how am I going to remember that? This is the process. You know what? Entrepreneurship, scaling your sales takes time. It takes work. It takes knowing what you need to know and then focusing on it, doing it over and over again. But if you're focusing on all the wrong things, where do you think it's going to lead you? Give me a yes if you're seeing how incorporating these strategies would be more compelling than just speaking to the objection statement. Why are they so successful? Yeah, yes, 100%, yes. Because you're using all 3 elements of 3HQ. You're taking into account your prospect's head, heart, and highest self so that they can move forward. Okay, so let's talk about your action work. I want you to look at your list of common objections. All right, you put those down. You listed in the left column, question number 5. And I want you to identify the actual beliefs that are supporting those statements. So identifying the beliefs of those objections and then create an objection obliteration statement using one of the 3 strategies that we've been practicing, okay? So is this helpful? How many of you have found so far that the last 3 days have been valuable? Put a yes in the chat. Put a yes. Have you found this to be valuable? Yes. I love it. Thank you. I need a little encouragement. Okay, so let's recap at this point, all right? Let's recap everything here. You've identified at least 10 hot leads, ready to buy, existing leads to reach out to who are likely to invest with you. Plug an incredible 3-question strategy, right? I mean, this is it. What is the strategy to warm up and identify future category 3 and 4 leads? You put together a compelling story to share with these leads, whether it's a social media post, it could be a video, an email. And you've now added an understanding around an objection obliteration statement. And this is all part of your own arsenal. This objection obliteration statements are going to be like so powerful you to bring out. These leads don't even know what they're about to get from you. And you all have decided to commit to your giraffe-sized visions as the financial freedom CEO. This is when we no longer play small. No longer. Okay? And you learn 3 strategies to formulate your powerful objection obliteration statements. Model of the world, metaphors and analogy, and presenting another outcome. So I want to know, tell me, I'm going to pop this up. Let me see. I'm going to pop this up. And I am going to bring up the poll of the day. And I want to ask you, what is, hold on. Can you see it now? What was your biggest pearl of day 3? You guys seeing that? No. Okay, hold on. I'm going to end the poll. Hold on. I'm going to not share the results. I'm going to relaunch the poll. And now tell me, can you see this? Okay, awesome. Love when technology works. Okay, super. I want to know from today, what was it? Was it objections? The tabletop beliefs? Was it the clarity of your vision has to be greater than the distractions around you? Objection strategy, model the world, analogies, another outcome. Which one was it? Couple more seconds. What do you think? What really stood out for you? All right, I'm going to just, oh, you know what I love? Check this out, everyone. Oh, wait, it's still coming in, so I don't want to end it quite yet. Give me another 15 seconds here. Jennifer 1 + 3. That's awesome. Okay, really great today. Look at this. Look at this, everyone. Pretty cool. I mean, it was a day upon days. We have a lot to go over now, don't we? We have a lot to go back to. VIPs, we're going to hit this hard. Now it's not just one that I'm going to be focusing on. I'm focusing on everything. So now, okay, let me back that up. And are we back? Can you now see me again? Okay, awesome. So here's the thing. Monday. I wish I could just share with you, like we could just keep going right now because I'm so excited about this. I'm going to be sharing you another millionaire secret, another secret to success. And again, where do I get these? From my clients who've gone from 5 to 6 to 7. And I'm going to be sharing with you exactly what you need to get your perfect client in this whole thing, to get your perfect clients in sessions like this. And I want you to realize that it's how they're being, it's how you're being. There's such a interrelated. And when I take you there, you're going to be like, again, today it was a bake off. It is such an incredibly powerful process. So formula of change today, I hope you start to use that in every single one of your encounters with any time you're about to go out with prospects, because it's so powerful. Okay. I want to know, day 1, day 2, day 3, what was your favorite day so far? What do you think? What do you think? Day 1, day 2, day 2, day 3. Yeah. You know what I love about this is I almost want on day 1 to be like, wait, I got so much. Wait till day 3. Wait till day 4. Oh, 5 is going to blow your mind. But we got to build, right? I can't just give you everything. I can't just say, although I would like to know from everyone on here, if I were to do this on a one day, would you want to have all of this in one day? Like if I just said, hey, yeah, what do you think? If I offered this in a one day instead of 5 different days, would that be? Okay, what do you think? All right. you know what? I might do this one. I'm going to surprise all you, because I do think, and again, there's power in repetition, right? We talked Zig Ziglar. So, all right, thank you, thank you, thank you. Love the information. Love, any thoughts, I mean, come on. We're here to improve this thing. So, all right, everyone, VIPs, stay. We got about 5 minutes and we'll jump back in. Let's jump back in at 10:05. Grab a cup of tea, coffee, whatever you're doing. Thank you, everyone, for being here. You still want to be a VIP, put it in. We'll get you in there. Put it into the chat. And again, Monday, we're going to learn the secret to becoming an irresistible magnet for these high quality leads. 9 a.m. Pacific time. And you're going to have a break tomorrow. Catch up, do it again, watch these videos again. I guarantee you're going to hear something different. And after 3 days, wow, we are like blasting off. We are on the launch pad and we have ignited. All right. So use the Facebook. If you have things, VIPs, make sure you get over all of the things you want reviewed. And I will see you Monday. So excited to bring you this amazing content. It will really blow you away. All right, everyone. Have a good one. We will see you on Monday.